today, Reverend Claudia Leonesio, and has such a wonderful just entourage of blessings, of gifts, that she shares with others, and just all around great gal. Met her years ago up in Harmony Grove, and she's just a delight, always a light. Associate Minister Claudia Leonesio saw the spirits of both grandparents as a small child, which sparked her interest in metaphysics. Spirit brought her to Harmony Grove in 1984 for readings and spiritual growth. She received her certificates in spiritual healing in 2015 and mediumship in 2016. Doreen Virtue granted her certification as an angel intuitive in 2014. A professional theater artist, she worked for the California Arts Council as a teaching artist and in public school system. She believes the worlds of spirit, arts, and nature are intrinsically linked. She enjoys living in the Escondido countryside with her husband, who joins us today too, welcome, and the sights and sounds of nature. Let's welcome warmly, please, Reverend Claudia Leonesio.
Thank you so much. It's a wonderful introduction.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
It's wonderful to be back. And this is such a special, special, special time of the year, I believe. So, the energy of love flows all around us. Love is a verb that needs both giving and receiving to grow. The power of spiritual, romantic, and fraternal love informs and illuminates our lives. Sharing the same day this year is Valentine's Day and Ash Wednesday, the beginning of Lent. This honors the 40 days Jesus spent in the desert with self-sacrifice, and this is an example of spiritual love. Ancient Greek philosopher Aristotle defined and explained the many forms that love takes. Now, this talk actually began at a stoplight in Escondido in December. The Sacred Arts of Tibet flashed on the Center for the Arts marquee. My heart lit up in anticipation. Every time I had seen the Tibetan monks perform, I experienced such profound healing, love, and transcendence. These monks from the Gaden Shartsi Education Project and Monastery and the Tibetan colony of India had Encinitas and Escondido on their first stops, and this was a year-long tour, a fundraising tour for their education project. The objective for this tour was to create a beautiful sound mandala symbolizing wisdom and love. The 6 monks and their lama also offered hands-on opportunities in calligraphy, sculpting with oak flower, and sand sculpting. Ceremonies and lectures were also included as merchandise and private healings by the lama. And of course I had to have one. When you get a chance like this, correct? I had a beautiful healing though this morning here, and the energy was so wonderful. So interacting for them every day, because I'd never actually been able to speak to any of these monks, even though I'd seen them perform. But I'd never been up close and personal because, unfortunately for others, but fortunately for me, the event was not well attended. So I got to interact and talk to them every day, and it was such a privilege and delight. Now the sand mandala opening ceremony began with the monks standing next to the sacred art. There's English narration in the background. And then the conch shell was blown, and the monks chimed in with cymbals, bells, the singing bowl, the oboe, a drum, and then chanting and throat singing. And sitting in the front row, their auric field of vibrant colors was pulsating in harmony with the music. This high vibrational blessing was pure spiritual ecstasy for me and whoever else was there. This was an outpouring of universal love, and it filled me with so much reverence for everything and everyone on our planet. And this was only the first day. You know, we also experienced this unconditional love through meditation, spending time in nature, and strengthening our spiritual connection. So this love flows through the chakras, creating balance in our lives. Now, Anahata is a Sanskrit name for the heart chakra, or a psychic center. The heart chakra's element is air and the sense of touch. Ruling love and relationships, the thymus gland, the lungs, and the circulatory system. So take a moment now and just focus on your breathing in and out. Put your hand on your heart with gratitude and feel it pumping and circulating blood and oxygen to every organ and every single cell in your body, from your toes all the way to your brain. Through this chakra, we relate compassionately with others. Its symbol is a 12-petaled lotus surrounding two triangles. The downward triangle represents spirit descending down into the body. And then the upward triangle is rising, coexisting with the body, mind, and spirit. This chakra is a journey towards self-love, unconditional love, forgiveness, and acceptance of others. When the heart chakra is out of balance or blocked, feeling unworthy of love, fearing rejection, manipulation, or violence, unfortunately, can occur. So there are many ways that you can rebalance it, which I know that you're going to be teaching. I just noticed chakras, which I have to say you taught me. So please take that class. It's wonderful. So they can be rebalanced with meditation, yoga, and crystals. Now, before my father passed, I was very, very conscious of the fact that he was my mother's caretaker, and I thought it was too hard for him with his health problems. So I consulted a reader, and she said that the lesson he came to this life to learn was unconditional love. So it became a joy to witness he and my mother together instead of my fear. And that just totally changed around for me. Now, Valentine's Day, our holiday of love, was started by Valentine, a Roman priest in the 3rd century. Emperor Claudius II had outlawed marriage for Roman soldiers. So Valentine, of course, did not think it was fair, and he defied the emperor by performing marriages in secret. But of course he was caught and beheaded. I know. So St. Valentine and Cupid is referred to in Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet. Now, Hallmark Valentine card sales are second only to Christmas sales. This highly commercialized day emphasizes gifts and cards to show your love for someone. But I've heard so many people brag about their tokens of affection they have received, while you know that there are others standing there who had not received anything. And then I've heard other people complain about the gifts that they did get or they did not get. And so this is a bit of foolishness. So, Eros, or sensual and romantic love, flows from the root and sacral chakras, bringing both pleasure and passion to relationships. Now this love can fade, unfortunately. But no one is immune from the heat of kindling sparks of passion. We all want to feel loved. The alchemy of attraction makes lovers seem to appear lit up inside. This state of enchantment can be fleeting. Singer-songwriter Joni Mitchell sang at Sunday's Grammys, "It's only love's illusions I recall. I only don't know love at all." Now, this is a Scottish proverb. The first year's a year of kisses. The second year is a year of fists. Yes, it is sometimes. A remedy for this could be having a receptive, spacious heart and respect for the needs of your partner. Constancy, perseverance, and patience helps. Now, self-love flows from the heart and third eye chakras. We all need to feel that we have a purpose in our lives. Without this, every other kind of love is hard to recognize or attain. So stop comparing yourself to others. Be kind to yourself when you make a mistake. We all do. Set healthy boundaries and set your intent to develop self-love through mindful meditation. Romantic relationships that begin as strong friendships that include self-love, those tend to last. It takes hard work for love to survive. When a loving couple brings forth a newborn, there's unparalleled joy. The sacred act of creation, though, is soon coupled with enormous sense of lifetime responsibility. Every day can be an act of love. My parents made mistakes, and they certainly survived my mistakes. But I always knew they loved me. I inherited John Lennon's book, Real Love, The Drawings for Sean. Yoko Ono wrote the foreword to it. She said, "John raised baby Sean. I ran the business." John taught Sean to draw. They would make each other laugh. Sean learned the fun of doing things with his dad. This book was done in the spirit of laughter and lots of love. 1999. So parents and children learn love and many other things from each other. It's the act of giving and receiving. As spiritualists, we know that love continues through the generations. My grandfather made his transition when I was 5, and it was decided that I was to sleep with my grandmother because no one wanted her to be alone. So I fell asleep right away. Then when I woke up, she was crying. And then the crying stopped, and she started speaking, and I realized she was speaking to my grandfather who was standing in the corner. And I could not understand every word that was said, but they were so very loving to each other. And I knew that they were discussing instructions for my father and my uncles. And it was just such a wonderful moment to witness the great love that they shared for each other. And I never told a soul, except for today. So, but all the lonely people, where do they all come from? The Beatles' Eleanor Rigby highlights what's been called a mental health crisis in San Diego County. So please beware of this. My 80-year-old friend sometimes goes several days without any social interaction at all. And so smile, reach out, and just ask, how are you? And really listen to the response. Take time to be friendly. It may make someone stay. And social connection is a scientifically proven healing force. So think of the golden rule. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. The earliest written example is from early Egypt. And it became a moral precept for thousands and thousands of years. But in the 1920s, a resurgence of the golden rule emerged, where people were urged to practice this in their daily lives. So, and this I got from you. Thank you so much. All right. In 1902 in Wyoming, James Cash Penney vowed to apply the golden rule in all of his business practices. And he kept to these principles all of his life. And we still have the J.C. Penney chain. And this is an example of pragma, or practical love, flowing from the root and heart chakras. It's based on mutual respect and duty and shared goals. This type of love is an example of love thy neighbor. And Mr. Penney wrote, "We have discerned that the golden rule was meant for business as well as for other human relationships." The relationships of teachers towards their students is a combination of both pragmatic and universal love. The Garden Shartsi Monastery has a boarding school for students from 5 to 18 years old, and this school is in the Tibetan colony in India. Then they also have a college for 18-year-old students who wish to become monks. They presented a slideshow called A Day in the Life of a Monk, and their schedule was just pretty amazing. Meditation, prayer rituals, meal preparation for all, and teaching duties, but it was all guided by loving compassion. And when the slide of one smiling child appeared, the monk chuckled. "He is so smart, so funny, and such a little Dickens that I really have to watch all over him. No one knows what's going to happen next." So finally, after 5 days, the sand mandala was complete. And there's a picture of it going around that you can see. And it beautifully represents a multidimensional view of heaven, radiating loving wisdom and peace to all. The closing ceremonies, high vibrational music and chanting reached deep within my heart and soul, striking a long-lost chord. When the music ended, it was time to illustrate the permanence of life. Then with sweeping brushstrokes, the intricate details of the mandala were whisked away into a pile. And then carefully and painstakingly, the monks scraped the sand into tiny little bags, which were then each given to each of us. And we were given instructions to put these in the 4 corners of our home for blessings and protection. And then what remained was prayerfully poured into a nearby lake. So I am so grateful for being shown what practicing universal love looks like 24/7. Romantic love, self-love, and practical love are other examples of the type of love we express in our relationships. Marianne Williamson said, "Love is energy, co-creating with God." So open up your heart. Let your love flow with grace and harmony. Thank you.